Namaste. This is a very quick podcast to thank all the listeners who've been listening to this podcast over the past year or so. We have grown the YouTube site and now have a dedicated YouTube URL, which is good, called Aaiyyan Foundation. I was going to call it the Aaiyyanist, maybe, I'm not sure, but we decided to call it Aaiyyan Foundation. So I'll put that link in the description, but obviously if you're watching on YouTube, you'll be there anyway. There is also another important announcement that I should discuss. In that we, the Aaiyyan World Foundation, myself and the volunteers, we will be working very closely with the independent Aaiyyanist Group over the next few months. So, as you know, they are a group of independent Aaiyyanist researchers who study talas and lokas and loka spaces and create and edit variations of Yantras to achieve, how can I put it, greater resonance. So yeah, the Aaiyyanist Group are independent Aaiyyanist researchers who traverse talas and loka spaces and then use existing talas and Yantras, create variations to have some greater resonance, if that makes any sense. It will make sense if you're a researcher or a practicing Aaiyyanist. But you may know the Aaiyyanist Group from, they produce a series of phone apps as well on Aayyanism in English, which is good, which many of you may or may not have downloaded. They have now produced and updated their Aaiyyanist phone apps using materials from us, the Aaiyyan World Foundation, other Aaiyyanist groups as well, from their own research, of course, and the original texts as well. And from also from the Patreon site as well. They've taken some, we've given them access to some Yantras and also some of my, my podcast scripts, so they can sort of summarize that in the app. So we're working quite closely with them. So if you download the app, you might see some text that is word for word verbatim of what this podcast was, which is quite nice, I think. Well, they may re-edit it to put a better explanation of some things, but we shall see. What else is there? So they've actually expanded and created a comprehensive set of tools that the Aaiyyanist needs to navigate this plane of reality, and all their apps can be found on the Google Play Store. If you just Google Aaiyyanist grouping in the Google Play Store. I'll put a link in the description of this video, so you can just click on that and you'll see all their apps. They've created, basically, or collated, the Comprehensive Healer's Manual in a phone app. So you have the Healer's Manual is quite a long piece of, if you've got this like a volume of how to heal people and all the methodologies and all the, how can I put it? Anyway, you can download it from the Aaiyyan World Foundation as well, but they've actually put it on a phone app as well, so you can download that. They have a tantric app, how to summon demonic entities, negative entities, and open talas as well, and that's called How to Summon Demons. It's a bit, how can I put it, dramatic, but it's quite useful information if you want to look at that. They've also got the Aaiyyanist Quotes of Wisdom, and they've expanded that up to include essays on Aayyanism from Sivan O'Dayan and other Aaiyanists, I think, including myself actually, I think. So that app is quite vital if you want to understand Aaiyyanist philosophy and our general mindset. So yeah, that's quite good. And finally, they've got the Hindus spell app, which can help you open lokas, positive dimensions, gain material things like wealth and love, if you're interested in the material plane, that is. But more importantly, it also now has the Tala Loka yantra to summon Murugan. So how can I put it? I strongly urge you to download that before it's taken down. So yeah, that's the Hindu Spells app. So they've got that one. So they've got 4 apps at the moment, but they're going to expand it up. So have a look at their site on the Google Play Store. I will put a link in the description, and keep checking it every month or so, or as they add more apps on Aayanism to complement these ones. They're basically trying to create a collection of tools that the English-speaking Aayanist can take with them wherever they go, without having to carry lots of books or Google things on the internet, whatever. And they're also working with us and me personally as well, the Aaiyyan World Foundation and other Aayanist organisations, I should say, to spread the teachings of Aayanism in English. So please do help them by downloading their apps and give good ratings too. I don't know how it works, but if you give good ratings or a thumbs up, it's easier to find. I should say there, on a serious note, many of you who have been in personal contact with me will know that I am actually going to take a break from the podcast until next year. For next year now, so it's going to be like a break, a seasonal break maybe. Or someone else may replace me in this chair. Maybe not this chair, but we shall see. How can I put this? As you know, me sharing the Dravidian Aayanist philosophy in English has not gone down very well in some traditional Aayanist quarters. But we'll see how it all pans out in the coming months. I cannot say more on this in public, other than watch this space. If I'm still here. There are discussions in the background, and I don't want to jeopardise my position and the volunteers' positions as well by making them public. So there's some discussions in the background about what's going to happen. But if you've been in contact with me over these past few months, you'll know what I'm talking about. Hopefully things will resolve themselves, but we shall see. In the meantime, while all the sort of politics is going on, I will be going on a retreat. However, I will be still involved with the Patreon site and the day-to-day, week to week maybe, running of the Aaiyyan World Foundation website. So with the volunteers as well. But this is obviously all time dependent and how busy we are. We still have a small crew of volunteers who are administrating these sites. So please be patient with them, as English is not their first language, and we're a bit short-staffed, to be blunt, really. As many of you have been aware as well, I'm supervising 10 new Aaiyanists who have been designated to be very attuned to the Aayanist way of life, or the Dravidian process, as it's called. Basically, we found during the last year or few years, by correspondence, we found 10 English-speaking Aaiyanists, new Aaiyanists, none of us, who remember clearly their previous existences, previous incarnations as Aaiyanists, and also understand Dravidian Aaiyani scriptures to some degree. So these people are very close to us, both spiritually and mentally. So as part of my duties, I and the 10 English-speaking Aaiyanists will be going on a personal retreat in Tamil Nadu for a month or so. In this aspect, I'll be personally teaching them, these new adepts, the Yantras to expand one's consciousness, traverse lokas and talas, techniques to reinforce their ancient memories. And we were also having a bit of fun too, such as teaching them Aayanist cookery and that sort of thing. Well, I'll be basically showing the entirety of Aayanist lifestyle with these new adepts, so that they'll, how can I put it, reawaken even more than they are already. So this will basically involve meditation, cooking, breathing techniques, farming, planting things. So it should be fairly intense, but also rewarding as well, I hope. And for those of you who we contacted but were not quite successful this time after being contacted, there'll be more opportunities next time round. So don't despair, your time will come. Yeah, so So, in conclusion of all this, please continue to support the Patreon site, as that helps us to produce this podcast. And it also helps with the translation of scriptures as well, and the shipping of Yantras, prayers, and ironstones to people. It also helps in funding volunteers and for the basic infrastructure that we need to operate. So it helps pay for equipment and help give food to the volunteers while they're working here for free. So I wish you all well, I guess, for the next few months, and I hope you all have a great year in 2020. I shall return, I hope, early next year. Fingers crossed. But if not, if we don't see me again, I wish you all the best for the future, and someone else will continue this mantle of sharing Brahman's truth with you all. So, I'll sign off now by pressing the button, and hopefully see you again soon, but we shall see. Bye now.